Okay, yay. I love catching up this morning. Hearing everyone. So let's go ahead and start just getting your hips elevated. Take a nice deep breath and go ahead and breathe all the way down into your belly, your abdomen. And then see if you can bring that breath all the way up to the top of your shoulders. So we do want to get all the way into the lungs. Good. And just use that breath to expand and contract the muscles in your body and your spine. And then see if you can start to spread those collarbones wide, release them. And we're making space so that we can open up that heart more. Good. So we want to work with the structure, the bones to start. We have that nice firm foundation. So get that equal balance on your sit bones. That's going to translate all the way up. And then just start to reach out the top center of your head. So you're lengthening, you're getting taller, you're growing. There's a couple more inches in there. And again, deep breaths. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your nose. And we're going to reach from the center sternum, lift upwards and forwards at a 60-degree angle. So imagine that there's a string connected to your sternum. It's lifting you. You're reaching, extending, good. And that will actually start to activate your core. So you have that strong center line, strong core, but go ahead and soften your face, soften your throat. Beautiful. Inhale, take those arms up. We're really working on that strong spine today. So if you can reach your arms up, yeah, good. And those arms are reaching behind your ears, which is harder said than done. So lengthen, trying to get any bends out of the arms as much as possible. And just continue to reach those arms behind your ears. Yeah, good. And then exhale, extend those arms wide. Palms are facing up towards the ceiling. And those thumbs are reaching back behind you. Imagine that you're like hitchhiking back behind you. Good. And the heart is open. So lifting this armpit chest. Really want to get in this area, bring circulation, blood flow, open.
Wow, could we make a short together?
Good. And the very southern tip of your scapulas are reaching to the front of the room. So tops of your shoulders are rolling down your back. Underneath your armpit is rolling up towards the ceiling. And that southern tip of your scapula is reaching towards the front of the room. Good. Smooth breathing. We're intentionally holding this a little bit longer. We want to get into those shoulders. Couple more breaths here. Go ahead and engage that muscle to the bone. Yeah, good work. And then exhale, take that right arm over the left at the elbows. Good. And you can work towards reaching those wrists together. It's okay if they don't reach. So again, working in those neck and shoulders. Go ahead and just reach your elbows away from your face. Lengthen. It's like a massage from the inside out. And soften the face, soften the throat, but continue to lengthen your spine and extend through your elbows. And see if you can bring that breath behind your heart, behind your scapulas. And use that breath to broaden wide in your chest, broaden wide in the back of your lungs. And really broaden wide across your rib cage, front and back. And then exhale, switch the crossings of your elbows. Working on those wrists. Good. And again, this is warming up those tissues, warming up the shoulders, neck. So go ahead and reach the elbows away from your face. And then again, broaden across your back rib cage. Breathe into that space behind your heart. And exhale, bring those arms down. Okay, we feeling warm in those shoulders.
Ow.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got that aching, grueling. We want that though. Okay, so let's gently come to standing. And if you do have a mat today, grab it, or just be on some non-slippery surface. Have your tennis shoes on to grip, whatever you need just to find that extra grip. Bare feet on a wood floor is really good.
Are we gonna need a chair, Rita?
Yeah, let's grab a chair. Okay, so if you have a chair of any kind, desk chair, go ahead and grab that.
Oh, should the mat be long ways rather than front to back? Yeah.
A long ways is gonna be great, yeah. Let's get back. Okay. So I have the mat set up lengthwise, chair in front. And we're just gonna start by taking those legs nice and wide. Yes, good. So we're gonna kick those heels out. Toes are coming in kind of like a pizza pie. And go ahead and just start by getting that weight on the outside edges of your feet. Good. And so this is gonna work all the way up the spine. Okay. So just get that equal weight on your feet, yep. And just taking your feet as wide as possible, as wide as you can today. And then go ahead and bend forward, just place your hands on the chair. So you have that support, yeah, beautiful. You got that 90-degree angle. And so this can be a really supportive pose, a restorative pose, but it can also be very strengthening at the same time. So those heels are kicked out. And if you don't have a chair, you can use a counter. Yeah. A table. And then go ahead and reach your inner arches of your feet up towards the ceiling. So we're building those arches, and you might start to feel spreading wide across your sacrum, across your back. And you can have your face parallel to the floor, so you can lengthen the back of that neck. Beautiful. And let's just really tune into the feet, into the foundation, because everything else is going to come from there, right? So get that weight on the outside edges of your feet. lift those inner arches of your feet up towards the ceiling. Open up the backs of your thighs. So we're untangling those hamstrings. And you're rolling from the outside edge of your hips, the outer crust of your hips, rolling in towards your inner groin. And then your inner groin is rolling towards the backs of your thighs. Backs of your thighs are rolling towards your outer hips. And outer hips are rolling towards the inner groin. So we're getting that entwining happening all the way up into your hips. Opening up the backs of the thighs, good. And that will start to tone your lower back. So go ahead and begin to tune into your pelvis. And imagine that you're spreading your two sit bones wide. And again, you have that equal pressure on your feet, equal pressure on your right and your left feet. And imagine that you're spreading the floorboards wide with the pressure of your feet. And that is also opening up in your pelvis. Sit bones are spreading wide. And then you're rolling from those sit bones up towards the ceiling. So roll those sit bones upwards towards the ceiling. And keep finding that pressure in the outside edges of your feet. So those inner arches are lifting. Outside edges of your feet are pressing. And begin to engage the front of the thigh to the back of the thigh. So your quads are engaged. Your kneecaps are actually lifting up towards the ceiling. The muscle of your legs are engaged. And really engage the muscle to the bone. So that front of the thigh is reaching to the back of the room. Good, and we're just going to keep incorporating all of these different points. Kind of like add on. So keep that pressure in the outside edges of your feet. Open the backs of the thighs. Get that entwining in your hips. Good. Groins are reaching back behind you. And now that we have the foundation set, go ahead and translate this all the way up into your spine. So we have equal pressure in your hands and your arms. You're also engaging the muscle to the bone in your arms. And those southern tips of your scapulas are reaching towards the floor, reaching towards the chair. Rolling the tops of your shoulders down your back. Sit bones reaching, lifting upwards towards the ceiling. And go ahead and take that length in your spine. So grow a couple inches longer. Extend, lengthen, reach. And you're reaching through your sit bones and through the top of your head at the same time, at the same rate. And this starts to get into a deep dissection in the pelvis and the spine, and the neck and the shoulders and the hips and the ankles. And just take that smooth breath. And the reason that we're holding this is so that we can get into those deeper places, those subtle holding patterns. basically disrupt old patterns and create new ones. So just a few more breaths here. Those groins are reaching back behind you. Go ahead and align your hips with your ankles. And feel your lower spine toning, feel your upper spine toning. You want to bring that length and that strength throughout your entire spine. Good. And then we did some deep work, so we're going to slowly walk those feet together. Slowly walk the feet together. Good. And we're going to just come to standing. Good. So feet can be hips width apart. And you can always measure that with 2 fists. I'm going to do mine a little wider. And go ahead and engage that front of the muscle to the back of the room. Yeah, perfect. So imagine the front of your thighs are reaching to the back of the room. And again, we're opening up the backs of the thighs. And you're rolling from that outer crest towards your inner groin. So we're getting that internal rotation. It's going to give you more length. That's going to give you a couple more inches in your spine. Open up the backs of the thighs. And then those kneecaps are actually lifting, so those muscles are engaging upwards. You can think about that in a few ways: front of the thigh to the back of the room, or kneecaps lifting. Good. And now we want to make space in the low back. So go ahead and draw your tailbone straight down towards the floor. Good. So you have the front of the thighs reaching to the back of the room. We have your tailbone drawing downwards, your glute muscles drawing downwards towards your heels. And now imagine that that tailbone is lengthening, growing, reaching towards the floor. And that sacrum, that triangular bone, is reaching towards the front of the room. Good job. So our thighs are reaching back, our sacrum's reaching forward. Equal pressure in your feet. Really strong legs, and then take that strength all the way up into your spine, all the way up to the top of your head. Yes. So you're finding a couple more inches in your spine just through the power and the strength of your legs. And again, equal pressure right and left side. And this is mountain pose. So you're actually becoming the mountain, right? Strong, grounded, can't be moved. And so you can really connect with that strength through that inner core, that inner line. So again, draw that tailbone straight down to the floor. Draw your front ribs to the back of the room. Open that heart, spread it wide. And you're lifting from that center sternum upwards and forwards at that 60-degree angle. Tops of your shoulders are rolling down your back. And you're lengthening out the top of your head. And even if you're doing this pose seated, which you can still find this activation of the spine. You're just going to work through the pressure of your feet and the pressure of your sit bones. Good. Beautiful. Couple more breaths here. Again, we're just disrupting old patterns, building new patterns. And And it does take that focused concentration. Beautiful. Couple more breaths, find that length. Good. Exhale, release. We're gonna go ahead and take the right foot forward. So right foot is facing towards the side of the room. And your hands can be on your hips. And again, we're opening the back of your left thigh. So that back of the thigh is rolling towards your outer hip is rolling towards your inner groin is rolling towards the back of the thigh. And then we're gonna actually lift up out of our pelvis. So draw your left heel into the floor. Find the lift of the front of the body. And find your balance. You can always hold on to something if you need. But go ahead and, if your balance is good, inhale, take those arms up above your head. Otherwise, feel free to have support of a wall. And again, here we're just opening up the backs of the thighs. And go ahead and draw that tailbone straight down to the floor. Making space in your lower back. This one is game changer for your back. Yeah, good. So we're working through all of the muscle holding patterns right now. And again, those legs are nice and strong. So engaging the muscle to the thigh, and the muscle to the bone. Face is soft, arms are extending, and hands can come down on your hips. And we're gonna press in that back foot to find length to reach forward. So again, we're keeping the opening of the backs of the thighs. Sit bones are actually spreading wide. And we're leading with that chest, so that heart is opening. Collarbones are spreading wide. And you're getting a little mini back bend in your upper chest. So we want to open up behind that heart. So lift the heart, lift the chest, roll the shoulders down the back. And while your legs are working strong, you can soften the face, soften the throat, soften the jaw. And reach, extend out the top center of your head. Good. Keep making space in the back of your neck. Roll those shoulders down. Heart is lifting. And again, we're really toning the right side and the left side of the spine here, as well as the legs. Maybe get a little bit of shaking, that's okay. Just the nervous system resetting. And then exhale, come on up. This time we're gonna lift our heart up towards the ceiling. But you do wanna draw your glute muscles straight down into your heel. So we're making space first and foremost in your lower back. Tailbone reaching down. Glutes reaching down towards the floor. And then heart is lifting up towards the ceiling. Elbows releasing towards the floor. Good. And then exhale, we're just gonna rotate our feet. So now your right foot is your back foot. And again, if you need to hold on to a wall, you can. Balance is different on both sides. And we want to square that pelvis with the wall in front of you, the shoulders with the wall in front of you. And we're gonna start by rolling that outer hip towards your inner groin. Inner groin towards the back of the thigh. And then see if you can take that right glute muscle and draw it into your right heel. Good. And that front of the thigh is reaching to the back of the room. And again, we're making space in the lower back. So keep drawing the glute muscles down towards the floor. Drawing the tailbone towards the floor. And now we're engaging the muscle to the bone. So front of the thigh to the back of the thigh. And go ahead, if your balance is good, inhale those arms up towards the ceiling, over the head. Find that length. Keep drawing your tailbone down to the floor, glutes down to the floor. Equal pressure in your front foot and your back foot. And exhale those hands onto your hips. And we're gonna lean forward, working with that pressure of your feet. And so the heart is opening, leading with the heart. Keep opening up the backs of those thighs. Opening that heart even more. Elbows reaching back behind you. And see if you can really get into that area behind your heart and open that even more. So creating a little mini back bend in your upper chest. Top shoulders rolling down your back. And the backs of the thighs are open. Good. A couple more breaths here. Open that heart. 2 more breaths. And then exhale, slowly coming up and coming back to center. Good work. Okay, for this next one, this is also a standing pose. And again, you can always do it against the wall. You can always have a chair for support. But this one is your classic triangle pose. So go ahead and take that your left toes are facing towards the side wall. And then your right heel is kicked out, back behind you. Yep. Good. And we are.
I've got to leave, Rita. I just want to say I look forward to your wonderful news.
Oh, thank you. Love you, Sandy.
Sending you lots of love. Thank you,
Love
everybody.
you.
Have a great
Bye-bye.
day.
Bye.
You too.
Yay. All right, ladies. So see if you can align that center heel with your center arch, right? Front foot and back foot. Heels kicked out. And then the arms come up. Good. And let's open that heart. And again, you can do any of these seated as well, right? So we're getting this armpit chest lifting. And then we're gonna reach with that left arm. Reach, 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 reach. Till you can't reach anymore. And it comes down to your shin. Good. And then there's a gentle twisting that's happening. And again, this is gonna free up those muscles in the side waist and the spine. Especially those hard to get to muscles that go all the way up. And your head could be looking up or down. Yeah. And we have that pressure in the back foot. And your chest and your belly button are rolling up towards the ceiling. And go ahead and lengthen those collarbones, spread them wide. And this one translates all the way up into the neck. It's one of my favorite for realigning the neck and the shoulders. And then we're going to exhale, press into that back foot to come on up. Turning both feet towards the front of the room. Now your right foot is turning towards the side room. Yep. So left heel is kicked out. And again, those arms come up. Good, and really get that pressure in the back outside edge of your left foot. And now we're strong. You're actually extending through your fingertips, through your arms. Imagine that your arms are lengthening infinitely. And then we're going to exhale, reach that right arm, dropping it towards the shin. Good. So imagine that you're between two planks of glass. And if your chest leans forward, it breaks the front glass. And if your butt goes out behind you, it breaks the back glass. So you're between two planks of glass. So we're trying to align your shoulder with your ankle and that booty with the back ankle. And the arm can go up. Good. Again, getting into those hard to get to muscles all throughout the spine. And there is a gentle twisting in here. So that also releases any muscles that are tense. And go ahead and keep that pressure firm in your back foot. Smooth breathing. And if your balance is good, you can be looking up towards the ceiling. You can also be looking towards the floor. Smooth breathing. Take that extension all the way through the top of your head, through your neck. And we have an external rotation of your arms. Exhale, press into the back foot to come up. Square the feet with the front of the room. And again, we're going to do side A again. So left foot is reaching, facing towards the side wall. Good. And you get to a new level the next time round. So reach, extend that left arm as long as you can, drawing it down towards your shin. Your back heel is kicked out. Yeah. Good. And again, remember that you're between two planks of glass. So if our chest is leaning forward, it would be breaking that imaginary glass in front of us. If our butt is out, it's breaking that glass behind us. So we have to find a way to bring the chest and the shoulder in alignment with the ankle. And the butt in alignment with the back ankle. Good. Exhale, take that right arm up. Then we have that external rotation of our arms. Good. And see if you can lengthen, find more space in your side waist, more space in your spine. Lifting that heart up towards your chin. Reaching, extending. And just a couple more breaths here. Softening the face. And exhale, press into that back leg to come on up. Good, squaring your feet. And then slowly walking those feet together. Okay, good. So we're actually gonna come back to seated. So you can grab your bolster again.
We didn't do the other side a second time, my
Oh
love.
yeah, we didn't, thanks. Okay, so right side, right side.
I know I wasn't going to say anything. I was like, oh, I'm already feeling loose. But
Like,
thank
I'm
you, Sister Carol.
Thanks, Melanie. So right toes are facing towards the right side of the wall. Back heel is kicked out. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, reach that right arm forward. Lengthen. Drawing that hand towards the shin. Good. Remember, you're between two planks of glass. And then you're rolling that belly button and that chest up towards the ceiling. You have a nice external rotation of your arms and your shoulders. Exhale that left arm up towards the ceiling, and you can look upwards if your balance feels good. And take that pressure in your back foot to find more length in your spine. So grow taller, grow longer, lengthen the side waist. Reach out the top center of your head. Smooth rhythmic breathing through your nose. Really getting into the low back and the full spine here. And that chest is rolling, rotating up towards the ceiling. Good. And yeah, you can even do this pose supported. And then exhale, pressing that back foot to come on up. Okay, square those feet. Walk slowly together. Good. And then grab your bolster. Okay, so we're gonna work on a little bit of hip opening. So we're gonna, again, just prop yourself up. The more height, the better on this one. So if you have extra pillows or extra blankets, you can sit on them. You can even sit on the edge of a couch, the edge of a chair, whatever you have. And if our knees are, super high, again, that's where we want to get more height under our butt. Good. Beautiful. So we're going to actually grab the tissue, move the muscle, move the tissue out of the way. We want to find those two sit bones. Good. And that's going to allow us to stack the spine, stack the vertebra. So pelvis is opening, you're spreading, releasing in those groins. And then go ahead and lift from that center heart, center sternum. Imagine that there's a string lifting you upwards and forwards at a 60-degree angle. Go ahead and close your eyes. So softening the face, lengthening the neck, the sides of the neck, the back of the neck. Good. And you can bring those palms to your center, to your heart. It actually helps you open that heart even more. So you can use your thumbs to lift your heart and your sternum. And then those elbows are weighted. Imagine that you have 5-pound weights in your right elbow and your left elbow. And they're reaching towards the floor. Heart lifting, heart opening. Good. And you can bring those palms to your center, to your heart. then you have that equal pressure in your feet. So as the feet press together, the groins actually release wide. So see if you can feel that, feet pressing together. These inner groins are releasing towards the inner knees. And hands can come down. Good. Okay, so let's dive into these hips. So we have that pressure of your feet, and your groins are releasing wide towards your inner knees. And then your inner knee is releasing towards that outer knee. Outer knee is releasing towards your hips. So I want to find that toning around your hips. Good. So front pelvis opening, releasing, outer knee rolling towards your hips, and then hips and glutes and muscles around the sacrum are all toning, strengthening. And sometimes we have one glute muscle that's stronger than the other. Like sometimes that left glute is really strong and that right glute is hard to find. So just tune in and see if you can tone that right glute muscle, that left glute muscle. See if one automatically fires. See if one you have to work on. And if that's the case for you, whichever glute is firing, but if the other one is not, release the glute that's firing and start working on the glute that's not. So we are toning in through that pelvis. And you will find those glute muscles actually start to fatigue. So you want to pinpoint them. And those glute muscles and the muscles like around your sacrum, we really want to tonify those. Yep, so keep finding them. And you can imagine that your sacrum is reaching towards the front of the room. It's that little triangular bone at the back of your pelvis. It's reaching forward. And if you find a little bit of internal percolating or shaking, that's good. You're getting deeper into the pelvis, deeper into the nervous system. So much can get stored in the pelvis, so it is important to work through. Good. And so keep that pressure of your feet nice and firm. Release your inner groin to your inner knee to the outer knee to the hips firing. And you'll keep finding more and more activation, new muscles, more areas that weren't firing before that start to fire. And you can soften the face, soften the throat, lift that heart, roll your shoulders down your back. And we're just going to keep toning here for a tiny bit longer until those muscles are really fatigued, really worked through. So important to find all those muscles, getting into the hips, getting into the glutes. And then exhale, soften, relax, release any of that toning, release the glute muscles. And then you're gonna use your hands to bring your knees together. So pretend that you can't use your legs, they're staying relaxed. And then those legs come forward and you can come off of your bolster onto the floor. And legs are straight ahead. And I would like to use that bolster behind me to help support. So you can put your hands on that bolster, on those blankets. And again, here we just want to find those two sit bones. So equal pressure in your right sit bone, equal pressure in your left sit bone. And we're going to work on these legs. So see if you can get your toes aligned, your heels aligned. Reach your toe tips up towards the ceiling. And then you're going to draw that front of the thigh to the back of the thigh. So imagine that you're actually trying to bust through the floor with the strength of your legs. And your groin is releasing towards the floor. And get those feet level. Good. And really just work on finding those two sit bones, right sit bone, left sit bone. And then you're gonna reach through your sit bones. Have that as a firm foundation, and then lengthen all the way up through your spine. Good. Couple more breaths here. Open up the backs of those thighs. Lengthen through the whole spine. Find those two sit bones. Good. And then exhale, soften, come on out. So for this next one, we're just gonna be on the floor. You will need a little bit of space. Okay, so we're gonna be, and we'll just have a minute on each side for this one. You're gonna be on your side waist. Then you're gonna align the ankle, the knee, the hip, the shoulder, and the elbow. And when you're actually in a straight line, minus me, because I'm cheating with this belly, but when you're in a straight line, it's actually really hard to balance. So ankle aligned with knee, aligned with hip, aligned with center ribs, aligned with your shoulder, aligned with your elbow. Good. And so you can either just stay here, this is position one, for practicing balance, or you can grab that outside of the foot or use a strap. Yep. This is position two. You can stay here and work on this. Okay. And then if there's anyone that wants to work on position three, then you start to straighten. Yeah, good. And you can really feel that toning in through the lower spine and through the glutes. And again, we're staying in that straight line. Extending, reaching. It's okay if the leg isn't fully straight. We're working that direction. Smooth breathing. And exhale, come on down. And then we're going to go ahead and go on the opposite side. So switch, rotate.
Sorry, I'm gonna have to leave. I have a meeting at the top of the hour. Thank you so much.
you.
Hopefully see you next week.
Hopefully. Yeah, we have 1 minute if anyone has to pop off at the top of the hour. And so then we're on this right side. Right foot, ankle, knee, shoulder, elbow. Find that balance. Good. And then you can be in second position if you want. Toning the glutes. And then third position if you want. Good. And really find that glute activation, that pelvis. And that strength all the way through the spine. And then smooth breathing. Keep that right glute muscle really activated and strong. And then exhale, come on out. And make your way up to seated. Yay, so if anybody does have to hop off at the top of the hour, we are there. And otherwise, we can take a couple minutes and check in. Great work today. Yay. So just tune into your body, tune into your brain, your nervous system. See how you feel. Yay, and I do have a special event this Saturday. It's called From Overwhelm to Overflow. And it's just going to be tips on nervous system regulation, balancing our emotions, going from a place of stress into a place of overflow. So I'll put that information there for you guys if you want to check it out. But I'd love to hear any reflections from your practice today.
Coach Rita, I found that it's really interesting how like the body's always trying to compensate, and you know it. What I find is that my left side percolates a lot with, especially with pelvic exercises and the last sort of exercises we did, and I know it seems to be more tense, but when we were lifting our leg up while lying on the side, it's my right leg that I couldn't lift my right leg. So then I realized that my left side is probably percolating and so tense because it's compensating for the right side. And yeah, that was huge for me, because I was like, what's wrong with you to the left side? Even though it's supposed to be self-compassion and love to all sides. It's that left side, you better straighten up, right? But it's the right side that the left side is making an effort to compensate for that right side. So it's the right side that I need to scold.
Right side's being the troublemaker now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good awareness, and it will be different from pose to pose. So like where we think our weakness is in one area, it will show up in a completely, different area in another pose. So
And so that self-awareness is something that, it holistically has to happen, like, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, like that self-awareness to understand that it's impactful. So I thank you so, so much. Every time there's always a breakthrough. Whenever we meet with you, there's always some kind of breakthrough. This is so enlightening. Thank you so much.
thank you so much. Good job on your practice, Treya. I love it. It's really neat when you do start to tune into that self-awareness at a subtle level, and it just gets more and more subtle. And I find the more subtle it is, the more powerful. So you're tuning in. That's beautiful.
I was just realizing that this is exactly what I needed, because my brain kept going, nope, you can't sit still. But I'm like, no, you need to bring it down a level and get into it. And so it's like just being with the poses instead of what's the next one? What's the next one?
For sure. That can be the biggest challenge sometimes. Good job. Yeah, it's basically meditation through movement, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I really loved it. Thanks, Rita. And really sometimes, Michelle, to piggyback on what you're saying is what I'm learning is sometimes we have to slow down to speed up.
Mm.
Hmm. Wow, I love that, Melanie. I love that.
Been working on it. It's so true because you get into the flow when you slow down, but it's so hard your brain to like do that. But like the more you work to do it. So I appreciate this morning to like, oh, I gotta slow down. Even with Lily leaving, I was just like, okay. But then once she was gone, I was like, time to really like slow down.
Yeah, way to carve out the time, make the space.
Yeah.
And it's true, like usually the more resistant we are physically or mentally, because it changes on a day-to-day basis, the more that we need it. So I always use that as a marker. If I'm like really having a hard time sitting still or whatever it may be, not wanting to do the practice, those are the days I know I need it. Good job.
Rita, I have a few things tomorrow, including a workshop that I've signed up for. So what time is your event? And what are you doing?
Yes, so it's at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, but I'll put the register link. If you register, there will be a replay. So yeah, you can always catch the replay too.
Is it yoga or what is it?
No, it's I'm working with some of the ladies from CTTP that we graduated with, and
Nice.
we're gonna be doing a summit. And it's working. We're going to do education on the body, the nervous system, and also how to reset through nutrition, how to step out of stress and how to step into overflow really in every area of our life. So yeah, I'm very,
What time? I mean, how long is it on for?
it's 45 minutes. Mhm.
Oh, okay. Thanks, my love.
Yeah. Here, I'll put info. And Karen.
Oh, yes, that should, I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna have to do the replay, I have something else going on, but, thank you for today. To piggyback on Michelle and Melanie, right? Did I get that right? Yeah, Michelle and Melanie. Yeah, I used to think about the same thing. Every week, can I stay still for a whole hour? And now I run to it. I have to do it because like you say, in order to do this, you get to run fast because you take care of your body, you recharge your body. And as we were going through this beautiful, I call it a ministry today, Coach Rita, I was likening the Iyengar alignment, you're going to a movie. You go to a movie, you get there, you start feeling warm, you start feeling tingly, you start percolating, depending on what's going on in the movie. And, then you get engrossed in the movie and you just engross us in the movie with sweet, kind, intentional voice telling us what to do. And then it's almost without our permission, we get driblets of love, peace, joy, kindness, forgiveness. It just all comes over you at one time. And it's just like, it's all in your cells and it just goes from the top of your head all the way down to your toes. And you didn't even give permission for this to happen, but it just happens. And it's like, that's when I know that it's completed for today. I'm like, you did it. You got to my cells, you got to my mind, you got to my body. And thank you so much for this ministry. Thank you so much for this Iyengar alignment yoga. I can't live without it. And I can't live without you guys. You guys uplift mind and body tribe.
I love it. Beautiful. I love that. Thank you for that description. That was just beautiful.
Welcome. You're welcome.
All the way through. Our bodies are amazing.
Yes, yes. Oh, and before I forget, safe travel to Melanie, right? You're going to New York, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, thank you, my love.
Enjoy and prayers for your sister's husband, I believe, right?
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you.
You're welcome, love. We'll be praying for you.
Exciting. That's gonna be
Thank you, guys.
Mhm.
Hi, ladies.
Yay.
Okay, see you, Coach.
Ladies.
Coach Rita, may have a baby week, who knows? See you, Michelle and Lisa
Bye, Karen.
Garland and
Bye, Andrea.
Andrea.
Safe travels, Melanie.
Love you
Thanks, guys,
Yes,
and have a wonderful weekend,
enjoy.
everybody. Thank you. Thank you.
you.
Rita.
Give her a big
Oh,
hug.
Karen.
Give Lisa a big hug. for us. And
Okay,
Marcellus.
Karen.
Love it.
Bye-bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
Take care now.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Take care.